Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliot. This is Everything Elliot. This is my ASV RC100 skid steer. Sit down, grab a beer, because what this was supposed to be was a video of me showing you how difficult it is to change tracks on this ASV undercarriage. Has took a wild turn into me showing you how terrible it is to change tracks on an ASV undercarriage, as well as showing you what a snapped axle in a skid steer looks like, and hopefully fixing it. You may say to yourself, Elliot, time out. This is a skid steer. That's Theodore. If you don't know, that's my shop cat. This is a skid steer. It doesn't have axles. Nay, I say to you, good sir, mine does. Mine does. So that right there is what's known as a torsion axle. I've got one there on the rear of the machine. And then I've also got one up here. And if you look closely, you might say, Elliot, that doesn't look right. And you'd be correct. It is not correct. It's not right. It's not correct. It's not right. Things are not good with it. So that is supposed to be welded to begin with. Looks like the weld snapped, and then over time it just kind of wiggled its way. And I'll show you that it does move. So if you look closely, see that? That is no good. I think we're gonna weld it. That's what I think we're gonna do. It's welded to begin with. And let me show you, hold on, time out. So originally I was like, oh, I'll pull this piece out and I'll just, take out a second mortgage and just buy this piece. Well, it turns out that this piece is part of the entire axle assembly that the jack stands are on right there, going to the other side, coming over to this piece. You can't just buy buy like this piece right here. It's the whole thing. So as far as I see it, the only way for us to fix this is to weld it. So full disclosure, I'm not making as much progress as I'd hoped with the grinder. It's kind of a tough area to work in. Give you an idea what I got going on here. I'm just not liking the way that it's coming out, to be honest with you. Now that I've got that big piece off, I can give you a better demonstration of what it actually looks like. So watch closely. Yeah. That is not supposed to be like that. Well, it has been a hot minute since we've worked on this project, and probably not for you, but it's been 2 weeks. I've been waiting for parts. The tracks are still not here. And in the last clip, I think I was gonna buy some die grinder tools, like the carbide tips. That didn't happen. Yeah, I ended up ordering a whole new axle for this thing. So that was like about $3 grand. But to get this old axle out, we got to get this track off, and we're gonna use the same technique we used to get the other side off. All right, well, now that we got this track out of the way, we can start cleaning this all up. I'd like to hose the entire thing down. That way tomorrow night or whenever I get back out here, it'll be nice and dry and I can start working on it. And if you're wondering why I used that electric chainsaw, well, frankly, it's because it's the chainsaw that I care the least amount about. Simple as that. So I'm gonna clean this thing up, get it hosed down, and We'll be back out here in a couple days, hopefully working on it again. Well, we got a big day in the shop today, and it's going to be more than just today. The new axle for the ASV RC100 has arrived. And what we're going to do is we have to unload it out of the truck with the Baumolite mini skid steer. Yeah, I guess I need 2 skid steers to fix 1 skid steer. And after we do that, we need to finish taking off what I would consider to be the passenger side of the axle. Once that's done, we can remove the axle and try to slap the new one in there. The problem is I don't have any of the new hardware yet, so I need to go get that as well. All right, so that took a little longer than expected. I've got a stuck pin here. I'll have to cut that out and probably just get a whole new pin. And these were kind of jammed up, so we'll have to chase those threads if I have a tap big enough. If not, we're just gonna clean them out as best we can. The only thing left holding this axle in are those 4 bolts. You see 1, 2, and then there's 3 and 4. And I don't exactly know how I'm going to do this. When I took the other side out, I had my neighbor Tucker here helping me. It's kind of a big reach, but I think we'll make it happen. But I need to drop both of these undercarriages down because I need to have room to drop this and then slide it out the front. One down, 3 to go. All right, in theory this should be loose, but that one bolt is captured by this axle, so I'm gonna have to let it down a little bit and see what happens here. Nothing happened. All right, I'm gonna cut that bolt short with the grinder and then push it out and see what happens. Wait, this is the wrong hammer.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Cool.
No, just go on. There you go. Yeah. I can see
I think
it.
it fell out.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yep. All right, you just set it down there and we can just slide it now.
Okay. Ready?
There we go.
There you go. Nice.
See that?
Nice. Oh, geez, yeah.
Oh, there it is. I know it's partially in the shade there, but it is out. And I had my father-in-law stop by and help me. Really wasn't too bad. Had to end up cutting that bottom bolt to get it all the way out. I gotta spend some time cleaning up in there, making sure this is all ready. You know, you can see all this junk that's here. I want to get everything really cleaned up. Possibly chase these threads here. I've got to go to Tractor Supply to get new hardware. I want to put all new hardware on everything that I took out, just because this old hardware looks like junk. And there's no sense in doing a project if you're not just going to do it all the way, right? Still don't have the tracks. I ordered those about 3 weeks ago. So I think this video is going to be a how to replace a front axle in an ASV RC100. And the next video would be wrestling a set of tracks on an ASV RC100. Because this is not a normal set of tracks. This is a ASV undercarriage that really likes to just fight you. At least that's what I've read. I've never done a set of tracks on a machine like this before. But that's it for right now. I'm gonna go inside, eat some lunch. I'm gonna start making my bolt list, my nut list, and we're gonna run to Tractor Supply. Hopefully put this thing all back together with new nuts and bolts. I don't know, I'm not in a super rush since I don't have the tracks yet. I don't know when they're coming. They were supposed to be here on the 24th of August. It is now September 17th. September 17th. So they're almost a month late. Super stoked about that. That's all right though. Okay. Clean up, Tractor Supply, and reinstall. All right, folks, well, last night you saw me here power washing, and tonight we're gonna do a little Rust-Oleum restoration. I've decided while I've got this whole thing apart, I might as well throw some spray paint on it to make it look good. And if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you a life pro tip right now. Lowe's has these cans of spray paint. They're $2.50. They're not the best, but they get the job done, and they're not $7 a can. I'm not going to be super picky on what we do here. We're just going to make it all black. I did a little test spot right there. You can see the difference of that versus, well, say that. So we're just going to coat everything, and I did start under here as well. So it was yellow, and we're going to make it black. I picked up 10 cans and this handy dandy little sprayer thing so my finger doesn't get all tired, and we're going to get after it. All right, folks, well, we got everything painted. You can see there we got the Lowe's paint worked out very well. They've definitely upped their game a little bit. Things look really nice, but before we go any further, I am about ready to lift that axle. I got the ATV jack ready there, ready to lift it in, but before we get it in place, I want to clean these out. And I got my tap here. This is a 3/4 by 10 tap. We got the air so we can blow the holes out because this is a blind hole, and then I got my oil as well. So we're going to cut these real quick just to make sure they're nice and clean. And then after that, I did get a bunch of new hardware. I spent like $115 on hardware at Tractor Supply just to buy all the nuts and bolts. So every nut and bolt that I took out of this thing is going to be brand new going back in. Those are the only threads we need to chase. All the rest of them are bolted, so like nut and bolted. That's the only one that's tapped, if that makes sense. Well, you can obviously see why I wanted to chase those holes out. They were pretty gross. So now I think we're at the point where we want to lift that axle into place, and I got the new hardware, 100 and something bucks. Let's see here. $113.88. Yeah, we'll lift it in place, and it's almost dinner time, so lift it in place and maybe just put 2 bolts in it just to hold it in place, and then we'll worry about bolting it down later. Or this thing might fight me and we don't even get it in place right now. I don't think this thing's gonna go high enough. You wanna help me? Lifting something heavy? Please? Ready?
Yeah.
Well, we're taking the wrong way, but that's good enough. All right, after getting very creative with a jack, this is a jack stand just to hold it, but a jack and a bunch of 2x4s, we got it up in there. It's not bolted in yet. I'm gonna grab some bolts and just slide them in there so it'll hold it, and then it's time for dinner, so I just wanna get some bolts to hold it, and then I'll go inside and have dinner. It's been like 45 minutes since you've last seen me, so this wasn't really super easy. We would have been done in 5 minutes if I had an employee or somebody helping me. It was ridiculous. All right, folks, this should be the final day of the axle install. So in the last segment, you guys saw that I put the axle in, and then I said I was just gonna tighten down some bolts. Well, that's exactly what I did. I tightened down some bolts in the front, got them all installed, and then I also replaced the bolts in the rear axle. They were surprisingly loose, so I'm glad I did that. Now I got fresh bolts on both axles, Loctite on everything, lock washers, and today, my special bolts came in. These are 3/4 inch by 1.25 inch length. So, not exactly something you can get off the wall. I got them at Grainger, grade 5. We're gonna slap those babies down with some Loctite. And this thing should be ready to, well, it should be ready for new tracks. Not that I have them yet, but it should be ready for them. So let's get the rest of these parts on, and then this thing is done. So here's something cool I discovered. See that? Watch closely. See that? Yeah, this front wheel's shot. So I gotta replace that in the track video, which is coming next. Once the tracks get here, we'll have to replace that front wheel. I guess I might as well check the rest of them. All right, folks, that's gonna button this one up. The new axle is in, finally. All new hardware all the way around. These aren't tightened down yet because to be tightened down, that back bolt needs to be in, which goes right in here, which that needs to swing in, but I gotta leave that out to put the track on. So those last two will be tightened down in the track video, and we're gonna replace that front wheel, I suppose, and any other ones I find. So, hit that subscribe button, send this to somebody that might enjoy it, and until the next one, hope you guys have a great day.